Hi everyone. This is Matt from Volition, and that is
I'm Ming from Volition. The other M in the
the
M&M at Volition.
other Asian property brother.
That's
Um,
right.
we're super excited for next month's meetup. Next month's meetup, the topic is what is it?
Well, basically, it's an ask me anything.
It's an AMA.
We typically charge anywhere from 250 to 500 an hour for our consulting services, but we are offering it for free right now for folks during that meetup to come and ask any questions they have about real estate, and we will do our absolute best to answer them or refer you out to somebody who has the right answer. And we'll
Yeah.
actually be doing it in person in an open park,
Yay!
properly socially distanced and everything. But it'll be great to see people in real life, and you'll get to see how fat I got during COVID. That'll be awesome.
We're right now the plan is to do it at Withrow Park, which is at Logan and Danforth, downtown Toronto. Bring your picnic blanket, and bring some beer. not
In a
not
paper bag.
in a paper bag. Yeah. Yeah. So it's going to be great. Come out. And as a precursor to that, we've been soliciting questions from our audience and from our meetup members. And one of the questions that came in today was, do you think that the real estate market is going to crash at the end of 2021? So Ming, if you were talking to a client or answering this at the AMA, or talking to a client during an advisory session that we normally charge around $500 for, what is it that you would say?
Yeah, first of all, I don't think that's the right question, right? I think obviously none of us have a crystal ball, but what we're looking for when we're buying an investment property, especially, is the ability for that property to hold over the long term. It actually doesn't matter so much what is happening in the immediate term. If the market is booming, if the market's dipping, it's nice to know. But if the property is a sound property and every month it's cash flowing well and you've got a good tenant profile and an area going through gentrification, that's way more important than is the market going to crash, right? So first of all, I'd say, does it actually matter? The answer is no, but it is not quite the right way to look at real estate investing. But if I were to look at what's going to happen with the market, let's say it's more like you're an end user, you're trying to figure out to time the market to buy. There's a couple of major things I see happening. One is, COVID hopefully is starting to ramp down. And with that, it looks like our borders are starting to open up again. And what that means in terms of population is immigration into Canada will start again. The government has fully acknowledged that they are behind on immigration. There are companies that are trying to grow. They can't hire people and bring them into the country right now because they're not allowed. So, they've stated that every year for the next 3 years, they're planning on bringing in 400,000 more immigrants. 400,000 this year, 410, and then 420, I think. That is an enormous population growth, right, for Canada happening over the next 3 years. And we know that supply and demand is the basic driver for real estate prices. So we have massive population growth potentially happening once our doors open. Not all 400,000 people are going to come at once, but that's their target. They're going to try to bring in 400,000.
And Ming, how of those 400,000 historically, how many people land in Toronto?
So about 35% of those folks end up in Toronto, yeah. Right? I can't do the mental math, but
I can't either.
That's a lot of people, right?
130,000 or something like that.
Yeah. It's quite a number of people, and that's not something a condo can solve. That's not something 10 condos can solve, right? And so when people talk about, oh, we've got so many condos, we've got so many developments, mid-rise developments happening in the city, it's not even close to the number of people that are coming in. So that's one of the big things. Immigration, and then COVID ramping down, economy starting to kick off again. On the other side, on the supply side, I'm I moonlight as a developer, I'd say. And one of the things that I love listening to, or some of the and reading, are some of the publications around the supply side. And there's a lot of headlines around supply is at an all-time high. One, it is way off from demand, right? We still have 10x demand compared to supply that's coming on market. But what's really interesting is if you dive down to the details, is the square footage is actually less now. The amount of square footage we're releasing into the market now is less than it was 10 years ago. We're on a decline of square footage. So while we may have more units, we actually have less space for people to live. So where it was more practical at some point in time for 2, 3, 4 people maybe to live together in a large condo unit, you're looking at 1 person living or 2 people living now. So our supply is actually getting worse at a square footage basis over time than it is improving. I just don't see indicators showing a decrease in demand or a massive increase in supply. And not to say there can't be some cosmic event which causes a change, but if all things stay the same for the next couple of months, I don't see a crash. In fact, I see the opposite happening, especially once borders open again.
No, those are great points. It's really going back to the basic, going back to the economic fundamentals of real estate, and which is really the reason that we invest in Toronto, and why Volition is an investor team focused on helping other investors invest in Toronto, is because we think Toronto still has a lot of runway.
Absolutely. So come out to our meetup in August. All the details are on our website, www.volitionprop.com.